to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Cutlery. We're going to try this again. I kind of like this, you know, kind of a personal thing where I look over and talk to you, but I also got to pay attention. So some of it will be thoughtful and introspective as I look forward, and people just go blowing by me. Let's start this way. 22 veterans a day in this country take their own lives. It's a number that's staggering. It's a number that we're trying to raise awareness to. And if you would, in the comments, would leave me a hashtag 22 a day. You'll notice that it turns blue, and if somebody hits that, it'll take them to a series of videos that covers the topic. Now, I'm not a professional, not trying to be, I don't have answers. That's why I just want to raise awareness. Vets, we love you. You fought for us. Let us fight for you. You have a place here. And that'll never get cliched. I don't want it to. I don't want this to be something that we just, you know, roll through in our feelings and regurgitate at every video, and that's that. We want to really raise awareness, and vets, I really want you to know you're appreciated. Now, moving forward, if you're an addict, regardless of military standing, normal person, if you are an addict or fought addiction, never quit quitting. If you want to quit, never quit quitting. It's hard to get help if you don't have money. I know all this firsthand. None of this is secondhand when it comes to addiction. I've said yesterday, and I'll say it again, it's my personal belief. Doesn't matter what anybody else thinks in this regard, because I'm not trying to sway anybody's opinion. I don't believe addiction's a disease. I never have. Now, I say that from a personal standpoint because I don't want to be like, well, it's a disease, there's nothing I can do about it. That's, if you wonder why I say that, that's why I come from that angle. Now, I know that there are certain things that, you know, trigger that, and I fight addiction daily, every day of my life, so I know the battle. So let's get into the video. Now, the first part of the video is going to be, what are you carrying? So what I'm carrying today, and I do try to mix it up some, I've got in my pocket, I've got my Praetorian, my Medford, I love that thing. I've got my SE Avispa, that's becoming a must. The SE Avispa is becoming like my Emerson. I got my Emerson CQC7 with me today. Now, I have a couple of the Cold Steel XL folders in the truck if I need them. I've got my Raja 2, I've got my Spada, I've got my Voyager, I've got a Counterpoint, I've got all that in my backpack. Now, what I'm carrying though today, and the one I wanted to show you, was the Spartan. I don't carry this knife a lot. It's got a badass looking blade. I love the handle. If you've got like huge hands, like double or triple X hands, handle might get a little tight for you. I've got what I would consider XL, you know, hands, and it's snug. It's really snug, but I love it. It's comfortable. It's grippy. Let's give you a good look at it. It's AUS 10A, which I love that. I love this steel. I like the recurve. I just like the whole look and feel of this knife. So that's what I'm carrying today, right here, the Spartan. Let me know what you're carrying. Now, at the beginning of the video, I did our normal thing. I did our 22 a day, and I did our addicts. Now, I intentionally left back in the blue off because I told y'all there's a couple things I wanted to discuss with you. There's going to be several caveats to the story I'm going to tell you, and there is a point that I really feel like I need to make moving forward. We back the blue here. We support Leo, law enforcement officers. How you do that, Scab? Well, we don't break the damn law. Now, having said that, let me say this, and we've seen it on TV a gazillion times. Like, you watch Law and Order, which I used to like that Law and Order Criminal Intent with Vincent DiForini, whatever his name is, smartest dude in the world. Let me tell you something. If you commit a crime in New York City and that dude's there, you done, son. It's over. You could commit it 40 years ago. He gonna figure it out. That's my favorite show. But the term we always hear is ignorance is no defense. You know, ignorance isn't a usable defense. You can't plead ignorance. It's got nothing to do with it. Whether you're ignorant of the law or not, you still broke the law. So I have a friend, and he's a good friend, a good dude. He really, really is. I've known him for quite some years now. I'm not going to say his name. I probably will. It'll be an accident, but I'm not trying to embarrass the guy. One of the things, guys, within the knife world, I know different states have different laws, okay, of what you can carry, concealed carry, what you can carry in the open, that kind of thing. It is your responsibility. Let me say that again. It is your responsibility to know the laws of your state. Now, I would ask that everybody suspend the whole Billy Badass thing in the comments for this. Go, well, I'll tell you what, I don't care what I want. I've told this cop that, and I told you ain't told the judge shit. Okay? And if you told the judge anything smart-ass, let me know where it's at on YouTube, because I'm going to tell you something, son. You're full of shit. You ain't going to tell the judge nothing, unless you're sitting over there in the pen. So let's clear that up. Don't want to hear none of that. Don't want to hear about, oh, this dirty cop. No. Back to my buddy. Now, there are certain parts that I'm going to leave out because I want to focus on the point and the premise of this little talk. And I know there are times that I can be all over the place. The point of this talk is being responsible and knowing the laws in your state. That's what I'm trying to hammer home. For a long time, I was wrong in what I thought the law was for Florida. I had to, finally I Googled it and I asked some friends, but guys, listen, before you walk out of the house with a knife, unless you just don't care, and a lot of times I don't, and it's not about a tough guy thing or what. I go to work and I take bigger knives to work, right? I don't think anything about it. To me, it's a pocket knife. I'm going to use it as a pocket knife. I don't have any malicious intent with the pocket knife. Okay? So, having said that, I've got quite a few that are illegal to carry without a concealed carry. I didn't know that. That's no excuse. I know it now. My buddy was on his motorcycle. He had left his house, pulled over at a gas station. Officer pulled in behind him, asked him for his license and ID. I guess he'd run his tag. Asked if he could search him. And my boy had this knife. Now, not this one in particular, but he had the large or XL Voyager on him. Now, it's important to know that he is a felon, was a convicted felon, and he did a lick back in the early 2000s. I think he did 5 or 6 years. And since then, he's had a few run-ins with the law, but done pretty good. But he is a convicted felon. Well, he got arrested because the law in Florida is you can carry up to a 4-inch blade in your pocket. Anything over a 4-inch is illegal without a concealed carry. I didn't know that. I thought it was 6 inches. You can carry up to a 6-inch blade. You cannot in the state of Florida. So he got arrested and obviously confiscated the knife. When he got out, he asked me why you would ask me. I said, Bubba, I said, have you Googled it? You know, let's look it up. And I was floored because, if I'm not mistaken, this is a 5.5-inch blade. I don't think it's 6. I think it's 5.5. And a quick Google search, somebody can do that for me and put it in the comments. I'd appreciate it. But it's over 4 inches. Okay, that's the point. Now, you can carry a fixed blade or something of that any size you want. You can carry, I carry the Preacher all the time. but it's out in the open. That is illegal. I can carry a sword. It's legal. Now, I do think it's up to the officer's discretion, you know, if you have malicious intent or whatever, you know, and that's the point of this video, is not to get in to draconian laws, or I think the laws should change, or whatever. Now, Josh got pulled over, and you say, well, Scab, why would they run his tag? They don't just, well, Josh has certain criminal associations, okay? And here's the deal, regardless of what you think about it, sometimes you are guilty by association. I have certain associations that are simply associations, not affiliations. Josh has affiliations. When you do that, you put yourself in that place, okay? Now, I'm not, see, I said his name, I'm not trying to preach to him, and he knows that. He knows I love him with all my heart, and I have told him a million times, man, I wish you wouldn't be affiliated, you're gonna get, you know, that, but that's not what's important. So he texted me yesterday, and their initial offer is 2 years. 2 years in prison. Now, yes, it has to do with him being an ex-felon. Yes, all that. But let me tell you something, guys. 2 years. And I know there's people who's done more than that. I know, you know, he did, I think, a 5 or 6 year lick the first time. But that don't mean you want to do it. People, oh, that ain't nothing. Well, you go do it, dumbass. Look here, I'm 49 years old. I'm not going to take 2 years out of my life. I don't want to miss 2 years with my wife or my grandkids or my kid or my friends, or away from the thing we're building here. I don't want to do that. I can go there and do 2 years standing on my head. That ain't, if I don't want to. And he's freaking out now. Here's what people, well, you get a lawyer. Y'all not, sometimes I get a little irritated, and I don't mean for it to come out a lot in the videos, and I know it does, but sometimes just stupidity runs all over me. I mean, it just burns me up. You know, guys, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Jobs ain't, I mean, there are plenty of jobs out there, but right now we in a tough time. My boy don't, I mean, he's got some money, and let me say this, here's another caveat. I fully understand, if you're going to have certain associations and affiliations, you need to have a lawyer. I do, totally get it. That's not the point of this video, okay? My lawyer is, I love him to death. He's probably the biggest crook in Jacksonville, but you want a crook for a lawyer, trust me. Now, here's what a lot of folks don't, and here's how I know people are full of shit. And I know we've been doing more cussing lately, and we're going to stop that. And I'm serious with that. That'll be the last cuss word for this one. But here's how I know you're full of baloney. I'll just get my lawyer. You ain't ever broke the law, son. Real criminals and stuff like that, yes, he could fight it. Yes, he could get it dropped down. Yes, he could. But do you know the money that would cost? Lawyers aren't free, boys and girls. Especially when you're a convicted felon and the law says, you know, now, guy last night was like, well, the law is if it fits across. The law is not if it fits across your hand. You know how stupid that sounds? Well, if the blade goes from... Know the laws. Now, I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know, you know, if he... I really don't know his lawyer situation, you know. I know that my point here is, before you guys, the subs and the people who watch Choir Boys Cutlery, before y'all walk out of your house, know the damn law. And understand that if you break the law, and you have all the scenarios. Now, you say, Scab, well, that's a rare. Yeah, I mean, the truth is this. If it had been anybody else, they would have probably confiscated the knife, probably been a misdemeanor, and a fine or something like that. Okay? I am fully aware that not everybody's going to be off for 2 years. Okay? I know for myself, I've been in a little bit of trouble. You know, I don't like doing the whole, oh, look at me, I'm the tough guy, and all that shit. I've caught a couple charges. I don't think I think for me it would even be probably a misdemeanor. However, that's still, you still getting arrested. And in Duval County, let me explain something to you. In Duval County, if you get arrested, unless you just got, pretty good money on the hip, you're going to spend the night in jail. Okay? Now, let me explain something to you. Since I've shared everything about my life, I had a dream job. I had a great job. I was working with the city utilities. Excuse me. There we go. I had a job where I was working with JA. Okay, that's the place you retire from. That's the place when you get in there, you're in there because of stupid choices. I was arrested and handcuffed and taken off a job site. Needless to say, that ended that career. Okay, I know what it is to do stupid stuff. I do not call them mistakes because you're grown and you know what you're doing. Now, in this situation, I feel terrible for my boy because he's like me. He's a working man. He's like many of y'all. He's just a working guy. You know, he picked up the pocket knife, had it in his pocket. Now, he wasn't going to work. He was heading out for the evening on his motorcycle. Should he have had it? Well, I mean, I have knives all over the place. But again, my point to you guys, and I'm going to wrap this up because we've already rambled too long, is please know the laws before you leave the house. Well, listen, I love y'all. I hope I was clear in that. I'm sure I butchered it. I love y'all. God bless y'all. Let me know in the comments 2 things. What you carrying in your pocket today, and how about giving me a hashtag 22 a day. Well, listen, guys, I'm Scab. You're not, and we gone.